This was last session one.
Yes.
So last session,
It's
you
not
need to
the
remember the triple jewel.
section.
Triple jewel, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. If you know it very well. So normally they'll test you on this one of the jewel. So you must able to explain it. And then the other one they'll be testing you is talking about the Sotapanna. What is a Sotapanna? So you have to remember how to eradicate all those defilement. And then the stanza, I don't think they will test you because it's not that easy to remember all the 17 Pali stanza. So what I see is that they will test you on the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and also the Sotapanna. So read through your text for a better understanding of this particular sutta. Okay, so this we go to the next one. This is a long sutta. Okay. Previously, I think 1 or 2 years ago, I covered this before. So now we need to know the stanza of every of this particular sutta. I think you all may have known this pretty well. So we have to go through to understand every of these Pali stanza, and hopefully they know it. I don't think they'll test you every stanza of it. Hopefully. So we will commence with this. Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta. So this is a very important earlier sutta, and it's preached by our Buddha when he got his enlightenment. So this one particular sutta is core teaching is for all the particular sect like our Theravada, Vajrayana, and then Mahayana. So any of these particular Buddhist school, they claim that this is a false teaching, then questionable kind of Buddhist school. So all of them have a standard one. So this is a standard one which all basically follow. So Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta is basically the setting in the motion of wheel of the Dhamma. I mean, the Buddhist teaching start to spin. Okay, is when you see the spoke, like a wheel, like the ox truck, 8 spoke, that one when you see, especially you can see in the Indian flag, they have to take the thing from the Buddhist. So basically, the 8 spoke represent what's the thing. So basically, it's a promulgation of the law or sutta. So it's considered by the Buddhists to be the first sermon given by our Gautama Buddha. So in this particular sutta, you also know, basically it covers the 4 noble truths, okay, which Buddha teaching about suffering is all expressed here. So this is a basic orientation of Buddhism in a formulaic expression. That means a fuller expression that talk about how to end suffering. And our Buddha refer to all these Buddhist concepts by asking all the Buddhist followers to follow the middle way or middle path. Then your understanding of impermanence. That means everything is not forever. There's no such thing as eternal. Okay, so over a period of time, everything have to be perished. So there is Mother Nature law. Nobody can escape. Okay, including our Buddha. And then dependent origination. How this dependent origination link come about and explain many things. Your brother Ko already give us some feedback about this dependent origination, about the talk from the Sri Lanka one. This is also, according to my teacher, dependent origination can apply to many things, including stock. If you are playing stock, you can use that formula, then you'll be on the winning side, according to this teacher. So according to the Buddhist tradition, the Buddha delivered this course on the day of Asara Puja, in the month of Asara, at this particular place, deer sanctuary in Istana. So remember the five ascetic, which they abandoned our Buddha. He said Buddha give up all the extreme. So Buddha, after enlightenment, came back. So the first thing he came back, then the five of them acknowledge him. So this is a place, this is the very first thing that he taught to this particular five of them. This was the 7 week after he attained the enlightenment. So after 7 weeks, he came back here. So his audience are the five ascetic. You all by now should know Kodana, Asaji, Badiya, Vapa, and Mahanama. Okay? So all these disciples now is remembered by heart. So the importance of this particular star, it covers a number of aspects of things. So the first thing our Buddha talking about, two extreme. I mean, the extreme of sensual indulgence. I mean, you enjoy all the five senses, whatever you want on the five senses, food, drink, luxury, everything, maximum. So this is called the sensual indulgence. I mean, you want all the good, not all the bad one. And then the other one, the other extreme is self-gratification. I mean, to torture yourself. Because Buddha also did practice this earlier when he is seeking for enlightenment. So he followed those so-called those ascetic, and he could not find any answer to that. And then also he tried, because during the Indian, they try to find answer by torturing themselves. So they believe by torturing their body, they can find answer. So that's what Buddha did, or self-mortification, until he poked his finger from the front, he can feel the back. Okay, so he found that this is also another useless, no help. And then finally, he realized the middle way. I mean, you cannot have the two extreme of this. So he sit on the middle path. So that's how he found the middle way. And then, as you all know, Four Noble Truths. These are the formula how to end suffering. So this is what he thought very important one. These are all the important doctrine found on there. And then, to end suffering, he said, you need to follow the Noble Eightfold Path. This is a way to lead you to the kind of nibbana which you attain by following closely to it. And then the 12 insight of the Four Noble Truths. This one is about the what I call more linked to the dependent origination. So all these kind of thing is in a way interrelated to each other one. We can't escape. Say we learn something, don't want to learn the thing. So all these things are interlinked together. And then Buddha also found a release from the cycle of death. This no more rebirth. It's a nibbana. So you want to end suffering, you have to attain nibbana. If no, you come back to the samsara cycle again. And then here you also discover the opening of the Dhamma eye. The Buddha in a way said the right kind of view, okay? Of all religious teacher, Buddha is the only one that finds the right view. So right view only lead you to nibbana. If not, you will end. And then when he discovered that, he proclaimed of the proclamation of the devas. I mean all the realms of the beings. That means including the heavenly realm, all that. Or higher until the 31 realm of existence. Upon the setting away of Dhamma in motion by the Buddha. So Buddha discovered this and proclaimed to the whole universe, including all the heavenly realm. And then the very first one, to understand it and then realize it and get as an arahant, is this particular Kodana. Kodana is one of the 5 aspects who understand this particular teaching, and the first one to realize it. The other 4 need further understanding on other kind of teaching in order to put forward for them to realize it. So this particular Kodana was the very first one to realize this particular teaching. So Buddha discovered this particular 4 noble truths is when Buddha attained enlightenment and liberation under the Bodhi tree. So that one you all should know already. This particular place at Nirajana River in Bodhi Gaya. So you go to for pilgrimage in India, you visit this particular place. And then after that, he carry on meditating, and then for the next 49 days until he fully enlightened. Then he start his journey from Bodhi Gaya to Sarana. It is a small town in the sacred city Vasani in central India. So at this particular place, he met the former 5 companions who are ascetic, and he shared the 6 years of hardship previously with them. So the companion who at first were suspicious of Buddha, because he already given out everything. So they wouldn't respect to him. But the moment our Buddha approached them, you can see the difference of the Buddha, because according to various sutta description, it was said that whenever the Buddha approached them, they see a radiant of light emitting from our Buddha. So they seem to teach them. And then this further development on this particular sutta said that according to one of these are all these Buddhist writers, Ronkers, about this particular first sermon. So it's also found in the other variation in various sutta. Okay, so not only in this very first sermon, but you can only find this distributed all over the particular sutta. If you got a keen to understand more sutta and read, then you can find it. So you can also find it in Vinaya text. So you will find that is this Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta has an influence on the Vinaya text too. So you can find the 4 noble truths and how Kodana attained the vision of Dhamma arises in him. So they have this particular formula: whatever is subject to origination is all subject to cessation. So anything that grow will come to an end to cease. Right? So this is a mother nature formula which our Buddha found, and there's no way you can say this is not the truth. And then in this particular Pariyesana Sutta, what I call the noble search in Majjhima Nikaya, you can find that these 4 truths are not included. And the Buddha gives the 5 ascetic personal instruction in turn, 2 or 3 of them, while the other go on begging of food. So this version of first sermon, which included 4 truths, such as Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, omit this instruction. Then you will not necessarily find that everything's the same. Okay, I don't know whether is it firstly or omitted during the recording of this particular sutta. So that, especially those scholars, they like to debate on this. So whether this sutta, which when you go for university study, you'll debate whether this sutta is the originate sutta from our Buddha. quite a number is a compilation from, we can't say is it true or not, but it's a compilation from other sources. Particular, I think should be from the Dhamma. So that's why they include another sutta in. So these are things are very ambiguous and also controversial. So we cannot say it's true or not. So whatever given to us, we just learn it and benefit from it. We don't go and argue, this one false, we don't want to learn. Okay? So as a Buddhist, we are open to everything. Accounts include the Four Noble Truths had completely different conception. This is another hindrance. They say, why there's a different from the earlier one. Of the process of liberation, then one includes the four dhyanas and the so on. So these are controversial things which we don't debate. All these scholars love that. They like to argue, especially when you study university. There's a subject on this so-called Nikaya. So question will come out. Give your view whether this particular sutta originate from our Buddha or is a later compilation, right? So for BA, we don't need to understand that much. So according to these bonkers, this indicate that Four Noble Truths were later and added to the earlier description of liberation by practicing the four dhyanas, which originally was thought to be sufficient for the destruction of asavas, I mean all the taints. So Anderson, following the Norman, these are later scholar, also thinks that the Four Noble Truths originally were not part of this sutta and were later added in some version. So according to Broncos, the 12 insights are probably also a later addition, born out is with the substitution of the general term prajna. Prajna, you can find it, they especially use it, especially in Mahayana text. This called word prajna is, I think, is wisdom. They can appear in many Mahayana texts. They make it very, very solid kind of call what, I don't know, Sanskrit or Pali. It should be Sanskrit for their kind of explaining, especially Mahayana, there are a lot of this kind of explanation upon how great the particular Mahayana teaching are. So we don't get bothered. So the important thing is to understand the four notes. These are deviate from what you need in YMBA. So this one is all taken from those sources. So just have a general knowledge when people talk about this for your own information. So what's the essence of Buddhism? According to Cousin, many scholars have the view that this discourse was identified at the first sermon of Buddha only at a later date, according to Richard Gombrich. So these are some of the findings of these various scholars. Of course, we do not really know the Buddha said in the first sermon, and it was even been convincing demonstrated the language of the text as we have it is. So because it's authenticated the first Buddhist council, leave it until today, so we just follow. So things like this scholar questioning is beyond our understanding. As you want to be one of them. In the main text of formulate action which are by no means self-explanatory, but refer to a re-established doctrine. Nevertheless, the compiler of canon put the first sermon that they knew to be the very essence of the Buddha enlightenment. So many then agree that this was the first sermon where Buddha put the Four Noble Truths, all this stuff in the very first sermon, as many of them agree to it. Yet the understanding of what exactly constitutes the very essence also developed over time. What exactly was regarded as a central insight varied along with what was considered the most central to the teaching of the Buddha. Is a liberating insight. This is the most important. You need to attain Nibbana. came to be defined as the insight of the Four Truths. So you want to attain, you must understand thoroughly the Four Truths, which is presented as a liberating insight. So these Four Truths is actually called liberating insight. So when you understand thoroughly about truth, then you have this liberating insight, which constitute the awakening or enlightenment or development of the sutta. So once you have this, you're on the path of enlightenment. So the essence of Buddhist Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, Buddha, when he understood this truth, he was enlightened and liberated as reflected in Majjhima Nikaya. So his stains, I mean all the bad one are destroyed by seeing with this wisdom. And the Four Truths were superseded by the Pati Sampupada. I mean this is another, these are some of the words which they don't use proper one. This actually is the dependent origination. Is some of this spelling is of this sort. And still later by the doctrine of non-existence of a substantial self or person. I mean anatta. Okay. So don't worry, these are some of the things which various sources put a different kind of word. So by referring to the same thing. Okay. So we need to understand the Dhammacakkapavattana Sutta, right? The earlier we study, we don't go to, but here in the fourth year, we need to understand what is the verse, okay? So bear with me. I try to be clear as possible, but my Pali is not that good. So just bear with me. So every sutta which we encounter start with this. Evami suttam. Ekam sambayam bhagawa varinisiyam viharati isi patani midigaya tatra ko bhagawa panchavage bhikkhu amanatesi. So basically translated, this was, thus I heard, is that every sutta is, all the especially sutta are compilation from our Venerable Ananda, because he is the one that listened to most of the sutta from our Buddha. So he say Eva means suttam. This is said by our Venerable Ananda. Thus have I heard, or thus I've heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living in the deer park at Ipatana, or what I call resort of deer, near Banasasi. Then he addressed a group of 5 monks. This was done at this particular place. So every sutta, they have to make a place, and then what is it about? To whom? Okay, so important is to the 5 ascetic. Demi bhikkhave attan paja jitena na sevitaba yo chayam kamesu. Kama suka likayu yogo hino gamo potu janyo anariyo antara san hito yo sayam antakila matan yu yogo duko anarat rio anata pa hito. So I don't think they're still on translation. Impossible, because unless you chant it every day, very hard for you to remember all this. So all monks, so talking to monks, there are 2 extremes, ought not be practiced by one who has gone forth from the household life. So when you have renounced, don't follow these 2 extremes. What are the 2? There is addiction to indulgence of sense pleasure. So you enjoy all the 5 senses, all the best of the 5 senses. So which Buddha found is of low cost and the way of ordinary people. I mean, ordinary people associate normally with these 5 senses. They want to have maximum and can last long lasting and never change. Right? This is what ordinary people wish for. If those enlightened beings are. So basically, they love this. So he found that it's unworthy and unprofitable. So if a person take the five senses and enjoy all this to the extreme, they will bring no benefit to this current life. And then there's addition to the self-mortification. I mean, you torture your body. As I told you earlier, during the time of Buddha, most of these ascetic practice self-torture. One leg stand, meditating under the sun. Also, Buddha also practice one grain of rice a day, and then all kind of what you can think of to find answer from your body. That's why they believe that by extreme torture on the body, you can find the truth from your this understanding, which Buddha found out is painful, unworthy, and unprofitable. That's why our Buddha, as you see in the most of the image, when you dig the self-mortification, it's almost totally near death. Okay, so this is another useless way of. It will not bring you any benefit at all. Ete bikave ubo ate anupagama majima patipada tagata gatena abi sambuddha Cakku karani ananda karani upa samaya abhinaya sambodaya nibanya samvatati. Okay, so Buddha explained further on these two extreme, both the extreme monks, the perfect one, as our Buddha claimed, has realized that the middle path. He said that middle path is the right way. It gives you a vision, it gives you knowledge, and it leads you to calmness. I mean, you don't get agitated that easily. And then it will lead you to insight. From insight, it will lead you to enlightenment. And from enlightenment, you realize Nibbana. So basically, avoid extreme, you will get the benefits. Okay? And then next one. Katama chasa bhikkhave vajima patipada tatagatena abhisambuddha Cakku karani, nana karani, upasamaya, abhinaya, samvodaya, dibanaya, samvatati. Okay, so basically, all monks. What is that middle path? So explain further what the middle path is about. As realized by our Buddha, the perfect one, is give you a vision, give you the kind of understanding, give you the knowledge, and give you the calmness to insight and to the enlightenment, and finally to Nibbana. So what is middle path? Our Buddha elaborate further on this. So what is middle path? Aya meva ariyo atangiko mau sevatidam samaditi sama sakapo sama vacha sama kamanto sama avivo sama vayamo sama sati sama samadhi. So what's middle path? So middle path is about the noble eightfold path and nothing else. Okay, so he prescribed how to end suffering is to use the noble path. So what is noble path? Namely, right understanding, you have right thought, and the right thought, you have the right speech, and right speech, you have right action, and you practice the right livelihood by means of right effort, right mindfulness, and concentration. So as a Buddhist, you must understand this eightfold path thoroughly. So this eightfold path is as follows. Ayam ko sa bhikkhave Majjhima Patipada Tathagathena Abhi Sambuddha Chakku Karani Nada Karani Upasambhaya Abhinaya Sambodaya Dibanaya Sambhavatati. So Buddha explain further. All monks, this is a middle path. So this is a middle path, as realized by perfect one, the Buddha, which give you vision. From vision, it give you knowledge and then lead you to calmness. I mean, you won't be so affected by changes. Then to insight and to enlightenment and to Nibbana. So our Buddha explain things very slowly and always 3 times. Idam ko pana bakave dukkam arisacham jati pe dukkha jara pe dukkha vyayadi pe dukkho maharam pi dukkham apiyeyi sampayogo dukkho piye vipayogo dukkho yam pi cha na lahati tampi dukkham sankahitena panchu panda khanda dukkha. So what is this? So he explained that actually is talking about the circle of samsara. So the noble truth of suffering is what? Is this birth. Birth is suffering, okay? When your baby come out, no baby come out happy one, all crying one. No happy. Never see a baby a happy face and screaming happy when they come out from the womb. Aging is suffering. We all object to aging. As we get older, all our spare part, all our limbs all start to deteriorating. So you cannot escape one. And then you lucky limbs can use mechanical, but spare part like lungs, heart, all that, no spare part. This one, one gone, that's it. Everyone else has gone through this process. Sickness is suffering, okay? Sickness, as long as they have you this called, one among say is a cursed body. So when you have this body, you have sickness, okay? So when you get it, depend on condition and timing. And death is suffering. When the person die, one last breath, that's it, cut off. But those person that associate with the particular this death disease will suffer from mental torture, and then they will in despair. And then next thing, what are suffering? Also think of the unpleasant is suffering. Okay, unpleasant, like you working you work with those bad company, like your boss your this colleague who are very cannot get along with you always this problem. So this is another unpleasant suffering. Dissociating from the present is suffering. Then you like to be happy. Everyone human, as long as you are willing, you always want happy. But this happiness is only a time span only. So a particular short time span is gone. So when this thing gone, you're also suffering. Okay, you don't have happiness anymore. And not to receive what one desire is suffering. Okay. Like people you working, you aim for top position in the company, then promote someone else, supposed to be you, but someone else. There is another form of suffering, okay? Mental suffering. So in brief, the 5 aggregates of grasping are suffering. So all these belong to the 5 aggregates, Nama Rupa. So all these you having Nama Rupa, all these according to Buddha is all suffering. Okay? Unless you are enlightened, we cannot escape from 5 aggregates, okay? Every one of us. So hopefully we every day can practice something and then get rid of some of it slowly. We can't overnight change it. So as a practicing Buddhist, every year, every day you should reflect. There are some plus changes in yourself. So it will be happiness for you because you get rid something this today, okay? So you should be better in a year time. Idam ko pana bhikkhave dukkha samudayam ariya sacham yayam tanha pono bhavika nandika sahagata tatra tatra bina dandini seya tindam kamantahan baka bhava tanha viva tanha. So Buddha elaborate on what is about this suffering. So the normal truth of the origin, the cause of suffering. Next one, Buddha explained further on the cause of suffering. Oh, big monks, is this? Is a craving. So next one is the cause. The cause is a craving, which produces, when you have craving, your wants, you become re-becoming. And then re-becoming, you have rebirth. So when rebirth is accompanied by passionate greed and finding fresh delight now here and now there. Namely, craving for sense pleasure, craving for existence, and craving for non-existent. Buddha discovered a huge finding about this. Okay? So beside our five senses craving, our five senses always want the maximum enjoyment. You have to be careful this type. Buddha also explained, craving for existence. Some religion practice this. Craving for existence, like joining God, okay? Or you are born in the heavenly realm and Brahma realm, something like that, or deity realm, whatever realm you are. This is another sort of craving. We should have not, as a practicing Buddhist, we don't crave for can have longer life in the heavenly world. That one also is as this is only longer than human life. Okay, so other religion teach about when you die, you join a God. This is a sort of a craving for existence. I mean, you wish to have a continuation. Example, the other religion, they practice soul. They want the soul to join a God. And then God down there, the permanent, eternal, is they are happy. And then craving for non-existent. This is non-existent, is talking about the formless world. This one, for those people who wouldn't want to get out, they love for going further up. So if you are from a formless world, you that kind of craving, that means you can live very long lifespan. So this is also another sort of craving. So our Buddha, that's why we never ask us to go back as those heavily realm. Buddha said, go back, come back as a human again, practice again, and then hopefully your Sotapanna, 7 life, you will complete the journey. Further elaborate on this. Idam ko pana bhikkhave dukkha nirodham, end suffering. Ariya sacham yo tassa eva tanhaya ase vira ga nirodo. How to end the suffering? Chako patini sango mutti anna leyo. So the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Now explaining on how to end suffering. Omang is this. It's the complete cessation and totally eradicate this suffering of the very craving. That's the root of cause is craving. And giving it up, relinquish it, liberating oneself from it, and detach oneself from it. So basically, is to cut off your craving. So when able to cut off from the craving, you come out from the trap. That's what Buddha preached. All this is a secret formula for, not secret, it's a formula to get out from suffering, how to end suffering. Idam ko panna bhikkhave dukkha nirodha gami patipada ariya satyam. Ayam eva nariyo attang giko mago seyam ditam. Samaditi sama sangkapo. Sama vacha sama kamanto. Saman aviyo sama yamo. Sama sati sama sambati. So next one, he explained the noble truth of the path leading to cessation. What's the way to end suffering? Oh man, is he prescribed this formula, the noble eightfold path. And there's no other alternative, only noble eightfold path. Namely, right understanding. With right understanding, you have right thought. With right thought, you produce right speech. And right speech, you have right action and right livelihood. And then you will practice on right effort, mindfulness, and right concentration. So this is a secret formula, not secret, it's a formula to end suffering. So if you follow a noble path, you are on the path to end suffering. So idam dukkam ariya satanti mi bhikkhave ube anusutesu dhamesu chakam udapadi nadam upadi pana udapadi vicha udapadi aloko udapadi. So this is the noble truth of suffering, he said the Buddha. Thus, O monk, with respect to things unheard before. So as Buddha said, you have never heard before, and this I proclaim. There arose to me that when you know this, you have vision, you have knowledge, and the wisdom. And after that, you have the insight and the light. I mean, this is a step one by one, with breakthrough, and then you're on the path towards Nibbana. Can stop for 10 minutes. I need a break. So we 10 minutes time, we come back. Thank you.